Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to start doing some labs for the DP300 series that are available from the Microsoft Learning, and I'll give you the link, and I'm also going to forward this one to my repository as well. And this first lab is going to be based on just this is how you go to the lab. So we have total 7 labs that we need to finish for this particular series TP 300. And the first lab, as I said, if you open it up, it's for using the Azure Portal and SQL Server Management Studio. So there's no real prerequisite for the lab, and you don't need any lab file. So we should be able to get done with this lab within about 30 minutes or so. Alright. So let's see what we can do about it. So the goal of this lab would be able to interact with the Azure Portal to create SQL Server Visual Machine, and then if you should be able to connect to the Visual Machine and the SQL Server Management Studio to restore a database. And so there are 3 things: interact with the Azure Portal, create SQL Server Visual Machine, and use SQL Server Management Studio to restore database. So what to do? This first task is explore the Azure Portal and look at important functionality. So this is where everything starts. We'll go to the portal, we'll sign in, and in the Azure Portal, type subscription. Click on the subscription icon. On the subscription bed, you will have one or more subscription, review your subscription name and subscription ID and your role. So maybe let's start doing that. Let's do portal.azure.com. So I'm already logged in, so it will just log me in there. So if you go to subscription, it will show me one or more subscriptions that are active. So this subscription looks like it's active, so I can click on it to get more information about it. So here is some more information. Okay, let's see what review the subscription name, subscription ID, and your role. So here is your subscription ID. Okay, my role, I'm the account admin, and this is the name of the subscription. So I have modified the name, and there's a way how you can do that. Just need to click on rename. Alright, so what do we need to do? On the left navigation plane, by clicking the horizontal lines next to the Microsoft Azure, then select all resources. That's where they want us to go. So over here, if you click on it, this pane was hidden, so click on it, this will come up, and all resources is where they want us to click. So if you click on it, we get all the resources that are deployed within my environment at the moment. So I have lots of things running in here. Okay, probably I should get rid of some of that. Alright, so the all resources page will list all Azure resources within your selected subscription. There should be an existing virtual machine in the list of resources. Why? I haven't even deployed anything. Alright, so they're saying we should have already, so probably they have already deployed something. Let's see. I have some, but so if you look at mine, so there's a Kali machine, and if you search here by type, and then you can look for these are all storage, then virtual network, and here are the 2 machines, virtual machines. Okay, a Kali machine and a test Windows machine. I have 2 machines that are running. So what are they saying? Select resource group in the next navigation. On the resource group blade, it will list all the resource group within your selected subscription. So that's also pretty simple. So click over here, and you can click on the resource group. It's going to tell you how many resource group we have. Any time you are going to create a new resource within Azure, you have to create them inside a resource. Resource is like a resource group. which works like a container. Okay. On the resource group blade, select the add button. Okay, so if you add, you're really adding new things. Ensure you have selected the appropriate subscription for the lab. Name the resource group DP300 Lab 1. Okay, so pretty much what they're saying, create a new resource in here. Okay, so over here, if you click on add, it's gonna add a new resource group. Okay, so let's give the name, and East US is most likely fine. Select the nearest region, so East US is my nearest region, and I'm just gonna create say review and create. So, and this validation has passed, so it's gonna create the resource group for me. So I can go to the resource. Now this is the resource group. Right now it's empty, there is nothing there. Alright, so locate and search bar at the top and search for Azure SQL. So this is what we're gonna do next. So here, just search for the Azure SQL. Okay, it shows up, and choose the Azure SQL. Okay, to provision a SQL server on Azure virtual machine, on the Azure SQL blade, select the add button. So you're already here, so now all you need to do is create an add button. So once you do that, you get a new blade like this. On the select SQL deployment option blade, open the drop down machine, select the option label free SQL server license, SQL 2019 developer, or on Windows Server 2019. So the one that you need, SQL virtual machine, free SQL server license on SQL 2019 developer. So that's what you need. That's the type image that you need. The rest of them, single database and single instance, is probably okay for now. So single database, single instance, and we are choosing this. On the create virtual machine blade, enter the following. So now create virtual machine blade. So here, if you click on create, so it should give us more options. So here, choose the right subscription. Resource group, we're going to choose the resource group that we just created, the lab one. Now here, virtual machine name, we're going to copy and provide the name that they want us to provide in the lab. And then region, it should already be selected. Availability, no infrastructure redundancy required. About spot instance, we don't need it. Size standard D2SV3, that means 2 virtual core CPUs and 8 gigs of memory. Okay, D2SV3, let's see if that is selected or not. No, it's not. So let's click on it, D2SV2. That's not the one that we want. So D2SV3, D2SV2, D2SV3 is right there. So click on that one and select it. So you got that one. And come back over here. Administrative account name is pretty long, so let's get that one. So put it there, and here is the password. Okay, let's see, come over here and provide the password and confirm your password. So that's all done. RDP port, already have Windows Server license now. So RDP port is already selected. Inbound port, so that it will open up the port. Licensing, already have a Windows Server license? No. Okay, so this much is all done. Make note of the username and password for later use because you will need it. So let's just copy this one and just open up an editor, just put it here so we remember. So we have configured all that. Okay, now the next thing is the disk. We're not going to do anything, we'll just call the premium disk and we'll go through the default condition. Premium and default encryption at rest with platform managed key. So that's good. Networking, looks like we're going to choose all the default options there as well. So it will create the network for us, create the IP addresses and everything. Let's go to the management tab. In here, looks like we're also not changing anything. They're just saying make a note of the storage account name that you're creating. You will use it in subsequent labs later on. So let's just make a note of this: 300 lab 01 DIAG496. Okay, just go advanced. There's usually nothing much that you need to do. Navigate to the advanced tab, review the configuration, navigate to the SQL Server Setting Lab. So next, once you come SQL Server Setting Lab, SSL connectivity private, port 1433, that's a common port for the SQL Server. SQL authentication is disabled. Azure keyboard integration is also disabled at this time. So let's see if that's what they're asking. Yeah, so this is disabled, so everything else looks good. Now you can also configure the storage for SQL Server VM on this screen. By default, the SQL Server Azure VM templates create one premium disk with read caching for data, one premium disk without caching for transaction logs, and uses a local SSD for temp DB. Okay. Select the review create button, then select the create. So over here, what you have, you're not doing anything else. These are kind of the default options that we have, that we are not changing the configuration. And just say review and create. So it's going to go through the validation, and if the validation is successful, and then you can hit the create button and it should start deploying your SQL Server that we want to have. So let's go back. So we have done with all of that. Now deployment, you can follow the deployment in this page itself. Here's the deployment is underway, and this is showing up that it's moving. You can also kind of track your deployment from here within the notification from this notification window as well. And once this is done, you will have a blue box similar to this one where you can click on it and go to the particular resource. So once that's done, what we will do, we will connect to the SQL Server, and we'll download a backup file, restore the database in SQL Server using SQL Server Management Studio, and query the database to confirm its availability. So let's just give it a couple more minutes, and then we should be ready to proceed with the lab. Hello everyone, looks like our deployment is now done, and once it's done, as I said, you will have this nice blue button available to you. You can click on it to go to your resource. So let's just do that, and if you click on it, you will see that you will have the virtual machine. That's the name of the machine where we have the SQL server running. Okay, its publisher is the Microsoft SQL Server. It's a V1 generation VM type. SKU is the SQL Dev. Operating system is the Windows Server 2019. So I think everything is going well. It's running properly. I have a public IP address that I can use to get to that. It's deployed in this particular subnet. Everything looks pretty good, and you can have a private IP address as well. Alright, so the next thing is you need to connect to the virtual machine and download the backup file. So to do this, we can do using the Windows, but what I want to do, I want to do this work from within another Windows virtual machine. So I have a Windows Server evaluation copy that I'm running, and I'm just going to start this one and use this one to connect to the Azure virtual machine that I have created. It just gives me a little bit more easier way to work with the machines. Okay, so let's just load it, and once it's loaded, we're going to connect it and continue with the lab. So let's just pause it just for a second. Alright everyone, what I have done, I have logged into this virtual machine that I'm running, which I'm calling the Windows Server 2019, and I just went to the Azure Portal inside this, so I can easily copy and paste stuff if I like. So this is the virtual machine that we wanted to connect. Okay, and let's go to that one and get the information that I need. The easiest way to connect would be go to the connect button right over here, and if you click on it, if you can download the RDP file. Okay, so you should just click on it and download the RDP file. It's very convenient if you do this. Let's see if it's automatically started downloading the file or not. Do it one more time, and once you download it, you just click on the file. Actually, here it's downloaded already, so just click on the file. So it will open our default remote desktop connection, and look at that, it's already got the IP address and everything that we need for the connection. So just hit connect. So it is now asking for the username and password. What did we do? I think no, we have the username and password over here. I hope I can copy and paste from here to there. No, I don't. So let's see, can I copy from here? Shared clip for host to guest bidirectional. Let me open that one, and let's copy this one, and let's see if it works this time. Alright, so what we'll do, I want to type. So let's come over here, do this. So let's come over to this, just stay with me please. So here is the public IP address. I'm just gonna use a different client from here, which is my Remnia client that you can use to connect to anything from within a Ubuntu machine. I'm just gonna say yes, and I'm just gonna copy the username and get the password from here. I just want to see if we can connect it. Okay, and there we go. So it's connecting. So DP300, if we look at the virtual machine name, maybe it's not too difficult. So this is from the a different client. I'm connecting to the virtual machine, and so this is not using our Windows Server virtual machine that is running inside my computer, but this is where we have connected right now. This is running within the Azure. Okay, so let's just go over here and let's see what is the next thing that they want us to do. On the overview page, select RDP file. So they want download the RDP file. We did this one. Right now we kind of skipped and we said okay, just use the different client because I didn't want to copy and paste all the password. A remote desktop window will open on the right. No button. Select the no button to indicate you do not want the computer to be discovered by other devices on the network. Close the Server Manager dialog box by clicking the X to the right of the box. So we have done all of that. Server Manager, you can also close this one. That's what they're saying. Okay. In the Server Manager window, select the local server on the left and select on next to the IE Advanced Security Configuration. So this is something that we have been doing if you're following. So if you go to the local server, and this is where I have problem because I don't have a lot of real estate in here to work on. So that's the reason I wanted to use the other ones. Which you move to the right, and you kind of have to look through it. IE Enhanced Security Configuration, you see that? So you just have to click on that one and turn that off. That's all you need, and we did that. Okay, now open the Internet Explorer by selecting the icon from the bar. In the Internet Explorer, navigate to this particular link, and then a dialog box will appear asking you if you would like to run or save the file. So let's do that. The other thing I wanted to quickly, so I have shown you how to connect to the virtual machine from the Remna. Remnia client. So let's just go back to the virtual Windows server that I'm running within our VirtualBox, and let's go to this page and let's get the password because we'll probably end up using some of that anyway. So let's go there, go to labs. This is the lab that we're following. Okay, in this lab, let's get the username password from here one more time, and let's use the Windows one as well to connect and make sure that your RDP file, the method that is mentioned in the lab, is also working. So if I copy that one here, if you're using the Windows client, that is what you need to do, and copy. So what will happen if you try to log in from this? It will disconnect the connection that I have using the Remnia, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now you hit OK. So within this, you just say yes, trust the certificate, and now, so from within this Windows 2019, I'm connecting and I'm setting up, and this is what we have. Okay, so now we are connected. So this machine that you're looking at right now, this is what is running inside the virtual machine, inside the Azure. So, and if you go over here, you see that the connection that I had through Remnia is lost. Let's get rid of this, and let's continue working. In this one, if you look at the server IP address, is 52.188.205.228, and that is the IP address of the Azure virtual machine. So I can drop it down, and you see this is the RDP connection that I have. So what we need to do at this time, click on this to go to the Internet Explorer, and let's see what else do we need to do. We need to go to the GitHub Microsoft SQL Server sample. So let's go over here and just first say Microsoft Learning GitHub. Okay, I just want to go to the page. So this is what I'm doing right now. This is actually inside the virtual machine that is running in Azure. Okay, so here, and they want us to go to so we have done the provisioning and everything, so then we are somewhere down here. Connect to the virtual machine is done, so this is all done here. Okay, so if I click on it now, it's going to download this file. Okay, a dialog box will appear asking if you'd like to run or save the file. In this dialog, select the drop down next to the save and choose save as. So let's do that, save as, and navigate to the folder location, C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. So we're gonna save it to let's see, C program files, Microsoft SQL Server, then MS SQL 15.ms15. MS SQL Server, MS SQL 15. Yeah, so this folder, and then MS SQL. Okay, and then backup. So this is a backup file that we're really loading, and leave the file name as AdventureWorks, whatever the file name is, it's good, just save then. So now we have downloaded and put it in the backup folder. Okay, now next task is to reach to the database and verify its availability. Now select the Windows Start button and type SSMS. So what we need to do here, SS Yeah, SSMS means SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so just click on this one, and once this opens up, okay, we are going to log into the server, and we're going to provide the server name, and we are going to use the Windows authentication. Okay, it will be pre-populated with most of the stuff it says. So let's see what happens. It should be opening up in the background somewhere. Here we no, that's not it. Okay, just give it a second while it's loaded, while it's loading. And it's loaded now, and you see these are all pre-populated as expected, and it's got all the username and everything, server name, everything is pre-populated, and all we need to do is click on the connect button, and it should connect to our database. So let's see, so click on connect, and let's see if it can connect. Yeah, look at that. So everything is available right now. So what you're looking at, this we are connected using the RDP client to this Windows server that is running on Azure, and we have the SQL Server installed. Okay, and now we have restored a database. Now if you click on the databases, and you see two different things: system databases and database snapshots. So I don't right now see the database, so we probably need to restore that. So let's do that. So when we are here in the Object Explorer, right click the database node and choose restore, and choose the restore database. So over here, database, click on it and restore database. And which database do you want to use? Most likely we gotta go and figure out and select the database in question. So database, if you drop down, is nothing is showing up. Let me see what they're saying. In the restore database, select the device and the source, and select the button to the right, device to label with the ellipsis. So don't use this, use the device, and then use the drop down. So again, so let's go over here. Instead of database, choose device. So here in our device, we have the database listed. Select backup device, specify the backup media. So I guess we're most likely gonna add the file, and where is it? It's inside the backup, and this is the backup file that we want. So I'll just hit OK. It's here. I'm gonna say OK, and look at that. So it's now loaded in here, and probably we can verify the backup media if you like. So let's go back and look at the instruction before we do that. So we have done this. We got the database already, and verify there is one item. We have done that. Verify there is one item listed on the backup sets. To restore the restore database dialog, and click the OK button. Okay, so they're not really verifying the backup media, just clicking on OK. So pretty much we are done. We just need to hit OK, and it's showing you the progress for the database backup right now, and it's loading up the database, and it says database restored successfully, and you say okay, wonderful. All right, so we have done that. Let's see, go back over here, and we have seen this dialog box in the Object Explorer. Expand the database node, and expand the database node, and verify the database contains several tables, including the DMO DIM account. So now if you go to your SQL Server Management Studio, here's the database is showing up. Expand this one, and if you look at the tables, you have lots of tables, and the DIM account, DIM customer, DIM currency, all of these tables are present. And if you want, you can even run some queries, select top 1000 rows or stuff like that, and look at that, we have data that's coming out, looking great. All right, so let's come back to the instruction. Let's see if we need to do anything else for the lab. So here they're saying, okay, run a new query. Okay, and this is the query that we're going to run just to verify that everything is working properly and we're getting data back. So new query, the way you run it, here is your new query icon button, click on it, so new query window will open up. Paste the command you want to run. You don't really need to highlight anything, and just say execute, and there we go, you have the data that you need. So here's the data, and the last thing we need to do is clean up. Remove the VM you created in this lab to save cost. You will not be using it for subsequent labs. So what we will do at this time, we are going to remove the resource group and get rid of this virtual machine. So before we do that, let's think about what we have done in this lab. In this lab, we started deploying a virtual machine. Okay, our goal was to install a SQL Server Management Studio using the portal. We went there. Okay, we went and we searched for the Azure SQL. Okay, and within Azure, once we found Azure SQL, we clicked on add, and then we used the free SQL Server license, and then we configured the way we wanted. We kept the RDP port open, then connection, since I'm having a Ubuntu, I showed you how to connect using the Remnia client. That's one of the clients that you can use in a Linux environment. And then we went inside a Windows virtual machine, and then from that we used the Windows default RDP client to connect to the Windows 2019 server that is running on Azure. Then what we did, we backed up a backup file and we restored the database. We made sure everything is working, and we ran queries, and everything was very much successful. So kind of think about what you have done, because we're going to get rid of the machine, and the last thing that I'm going to show you how to do that. So all you need to do over here, this machine we have created under DP300 lab 01, right? So what we'll do, we'll come back over here, okay, and we'll say delete the resource group. And once you delete the resource group, it will delete the resource group plus all the related resources that we have in here. So the way you delete, you copy the resource group name, you paste it over here, and you said yes, delete. If you don't have the name copied properly, it will not let you delete it. Now the deletion has started. In a few minutes, all the resources will be gone, and you will not be charged for this deployment. Alright, hopefully you have a good understanding of the lab. If you're studying for the DP300 SQL Server Administration exam, good luck with your exam. Thank you for watching.